Welcome to YUKO. Today, we're going to improve hip mobility by accessing thigh and hamstrings. And most of people sit too long and you have a really tight muscle. And when you have a tight muscle, if you want to stretch, you need to be able to compress your hamstring at the side of your legs. When you compress your hamstring, your thigh is elongating. It just does what happens. One side is contracted, another side is elongating. That's focus for today, and let's start with the movement of our hips. So start with just right leg straight, drop left knee down, knees and toes are pointing forward. And start with your weight is center of your sitting bone. When you exhale, mindfully shifting weight your front of your sitting bone to tilt your pelvis forward. And inhale, slowly lift your pelvis. Engage core to lift your pelvis. And exhale, mindfully shifting weight to the front of your sitting bone to tilt your pelvis forward. And inhale, lift. And exhale, tilt your pelvis forward. And let's take your inhale, lengthening spine. Exhale, mindfully, slowly tilt your pelvis forward without rounding back, bending knee. So see how far you can go. And see, we are just checking. You should have a deep stretch to your back of your legs. And we're checking here, and we switch side. And straightening left leg, right knee down, toes and knees up. Knees are pointing up, toes are pointing up. And inhale to lift your pelvis. Exhale, shifting weight of your front of your sitting bone to tilt your pelvis forward. Inhale, slowly lift your pelvis, access abdominal muscles. And exhale, shifting weight your front of your sitting bone to tilt forward. Do one more. Inhale, slowly lift to use your core muscle. And exhale, slowly tilt your pelvis forward. Complete the exhale. Another inhale, lengthening spine. Exhale, mindfully tilt your pelvis far as you can without bending knee or rounding back. You're just thinking where you are. And slowly sit up, and let's start working on our thigh and hamstring. And we're just going to start with normal cat-cow. Go ahead and tuck your toes. And you just, we do cat-cow, but I want you to focus on sensation, movement of your hip joint. So next time, inhale, tilt your pelvis, and you're squeezing hip joint. And exhale, lift your pelvis, extending hip flexor. And inhale, cow pose, squeeze, flex your hip joint, flex, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale, lift your pelvis to open up your hip flexor, extension there. And another inhale, cow spine, squeezing hip joint, flexion your hip joint. And exhale, lift your pelvis, round your spine to open up your hip flexor. Let's do two more. Inhale, count to squeeze your hip joint. And exhale to lift your pelvis to open up. And do one more count. Squeezing hip joint. And exhale, cat pose. And we're going to start engaging hamstring. So we're going to do movement, but I want you to focus on the space between the seam of the buttocks and hamstring and back of your knee. And when you exhale, I want you to squeeze this muscle to move your knee. So go ahead and extend your right leg to the back, bend your knee, flex your foot, and use your exhale, squeezing hamstring to lift your knee. And inhale to relax your hamstring. Exhale, squeeze to maybe lift your knee just a little bit, or at least you can feel knees lifted. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeezing hamstring to lift your knee. Flex your foot. Two more. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeezing hamstring, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And do one more. Inhale, release. And exhale, squeezing hamstring, squeezing hamstring. Space between buttocks and back of your knee. And go ahead and stepping right foot forward, straightening right leg. Lift your toes off the floor. And inhale, lengthening spine. Now exhale to move your right sitting bone to the back and flex your right foot. And inhale to relax your foot. foot and sitting bone. And exhale, flex your right foot, move your right sitting bone to the back. So you feel like you're sucking right leg into the hip socket. 3 more times. Inhale, release. Exhale, flex your foot, move your sitting bone to the back to suck your leg bone into your hip socket. Inhale, release. And exhale to move your sitting bone to the back, flex your right foot. Do one more. Inhale. In, exhale, move your sitting bone to the back, flex your right foot, flex your right foot, flex your right foot. And go ahead and coming back to hands and knee, and move your hips side to side, or do few cat count to see how you feel. Hopefully you feel a little more spaciousness in your right hip joint. And we switch sides. So extend your left leg to the back, bend your knee, flex your foot. Again, we are squeezing the space, the seam between buttocks and hamstring and back of your knee. And take a deep inhale. And exhale, squeezing hamstring to lift your knee. Maybe a little movement, but you are feeling it. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeezing hamstring, space between buttocks and back of your knee. And inhale, release. Exhale, squeezing hamstrings, flex your foot. 2 more. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your hamstring. Then stepping left foot forward between hands, straightening left leg, toes are off the floor. And take a deep inhale. Now exhale, flex your foot and move your sitting bone to the back. Again, you are sucking leg into the hip socket. And inhale, release. Exhale, flex your foot, move your sitting bone to the back. Inhale, release. And exhale, squeeze hip joint, move your sitting bone to the back, flex your foot. 2 more. Inhale, release. Exhale, flex and squeeze. Last one. Inhale. In, exhale. And go ahead and coming back to tabletop pose. And go ahead and do huge cat-cow movement. And hopefully your hip joints are even now. And we are kind of the same movement. Again, we are going to focus on the hamstring, contracting hamstring in the bridge pose. So go ahead and lay on your back to coming into bridge pose. Knees are pointing up, toes are pointing forward, and legs stay about hip width. And go ahead and coming into bridge pose. And go ahead and start walking right foot forward until you feel your hamstring is engaged. And keep your right foot on the floor. So once you feel hamstring, extend your left leg forward. So you can really feel your hamstring. And again, use your exhale to squeeze the space between seam of the buttocks and hamstring and back of your knee. So feel like you're putting right heel towards your hips without moving heels. So you ready? Take a deep inhale. Now exhale, squeeze hamstring. Feel like you are moving heel towards your hips. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze and pull. And inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze your hamstring. Feel like you're moving heel toward the hip. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale to engage right hamstring. Engage right heel. And 1 more. Inhale, relax. Exhale to ground your right heel. Feel like you're moving heel toward your hip to feel your hamstring. And go ahead and bring your hips down. Left foot down, coming to normal bridge pose. And come up to see how you feel. Hopefully your right hip flexor is a little more released. So we'll do other side. So knees are pointing up, toes are pointing forward. And from here, walk your left foot forward until you feel your left hamstring is engaged. Then extending right leg forward. You ready? Take a deep inhale. Exhale, feel like you're moving left heel toward your buttocks to engage left hamstring. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze left hamstring, space between seam of the buttocks and the leg and back of your knee. Inhale, release. And Exhale, feel like you're moving heel toward the hips. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze your left hamstring. Feel like I'm not doing anything, but if you do this, you are really feeling the left hamstring. Do one more. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze left hamstring. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And go ahead and bring your hips to the floor. And go ahead and sit. Let's slowly sit up. And let's check. So, same pose, forward bending we did at the beginning. So, straightening right leg forward. Knees and toes are pointing forward. And inhale to engage center of your sitting bones. Exhale, shifting weight the front of your sitting bone to tilt your pelvis forward. And see how far you can tilt your pelvis down without rounding spine. So keep your abdominal muscle lengthening, squeezing hip joint. Feel like you're moving sitting bone to the back. And check out the side. Straightening left leg, relax your left right leg. Inhale to grounding left sitting bone. Exhale, shifting weight to the front of your sitting bone to tilt your pelvis forward. Come into forward bending. And use your exhale, go deeper without bending knee or no pain to your knee or lower back. And see where you are. Hopefully you can go a little deeper and you feel a little release to your hip joint. And hopefully this flow was helping somebody somewhere today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like my video, follow my channel, and come see me more. And thank you so much, and see you next time.